We're nearly finished with our categories CRUD functionality. In this video, we'll create the option for our admin to update categories. The easiest way to do this is to clone the template for adding a category. cp templates/add_category.html templates/edit_category.html. Open the new file, and the first thing we can change is the H3 header to edit category. We can do the same thing with the form's action, edit_category, that we'll build in a moment. For the input, we'll pre-fill the existing data using the value property. Our Jinja expression will be this current category, and using dot notation, the category_name from MongoDB. The submit button will read edit category, and the icon will be FA edit. Just like with updating a task, we need to specify which particular category will be updated. Inside of the URL calling our Python view, we'll send the variable category_ID. Again, using dot notation, we'll grab the _ID key from MongoDB for this particular category. Save the file, and then let's go to our app.py file to create this new function. The @app.root decorator will be /edit_category, and we're passing through the variable of category_ID in angle brackets. This function will use both the get and post methods. For consistency, the view will have the same name as the decorator, and will accept the variable being sent above for the category ID. Using the category ID being sent into this function, let's perform a .find_1 method on the categories collection. Once again, using the object ID, this will render as bson in order to properly display between MongoDB and Flask. Since we're building our get method first, let's test that this works by rendering our new template for edit_category.html. Our template is expecting a variable called category, so that we can specify which category is being updated on the form. We'll set that equal to the new category variable found above. Save the file, and let's go to the categories template that displays each one inside of a card. We can now connect the href for the edit button. It's going to match exactly from the form's action on our edit template. I'll copy that, including the brackets, and paste it into the href within our card. This works because we're still calling the edit_category function and passing through the category ID variable. That's going to be set to the current category iteration within this Jinja for loop, which is why it's a good idea to reuse the same naming conventions. Using dot notation, it'll target this category's key of _ID from MongoDB. Save those changes, and let's go back to the edit template again. Just above our submit button on the form, we'll include a standard anchor link to act as our cancel button. a.btnlarge.red.textShadow. If the admin decides to cancel and not make any changes to the category name, then the href will redirect them back to the URL for our get categories view. The button, or link, will read cancel and have an icon next to it, i.fas.fa times circle.write. Save the file, and let's reload the live page to see these changes in action. Click on the category for GitHub. I'll change it to something more generic, coding. Even if you try to submit the form, it will not work, since we only have the get method defined, so it reverts back to the name GitHub. Click Cancel, which works perfectly, bringing us back to all categories. We can now build the post functionality, so return back to the app.py file. If our HTTP requested method is equal to post, then we'll submit the new data from our form via another dictionary. We've already got the variable of category defined below within the default get method, so our dictionary will be submit. Our form only has one item, category_name, which we'll get from the requested form itself. Next, we need to use the .update method on our categories collection. If you recall from updating a task above, the update method takes two dictionaries. The second one is our submit dictionary, so it knows what new information will be updated in the database. The first dictionary will define which specific category we want to update. We'll target the category underscore ID being sent to this function above. Then, let's display a flash message to the admin. Category successfully updated. Once it's updated, let's just redirect the admin back to the Get Categories view. Save the file, and let's test that everything works. I'll create a new category, which will be for Music. That still works fine, so let's click to edit the GitHub category. Again, that'll be for a generic coding category now. On Submit, you can see I've been redirected back, and the flash message is displaying. That's great, we've nearly completed this mini project. The only item outstanding for our CRUD functionality is being able to delete a category. We'll do that in our next video, so for now, let's push to GitHub. Git add -A, git commit -m, add edit category functionality, git push, and then clear the screen.